All right, it's time for a book review. We're talking about Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Chamine. Hi, I'm Jovita, and thank you for joining Grow with Jovita, where I share leadership tips and advice to help advance your career. All right, we're talking about this book, Positive Intelligence, why only 20% of teams and individuals achieve their true potential and how you can achieve yours. Let's get right into it. One of my favorite takeaways from this book is the concept that our minds are so powerful and we really have a choice in, are we going to see our mind and our thoughts as a friend, or do we see it as an enemy? He talks about these things as saboteurs. So the blocks that we have, the negative talk, the things that we do that are keeping us stuck where we are, he calls them saboteurs. And what I really love is that he actually gives them character names. So that really is going to contribute to using that positive self-talk language, like I was saying, because it's not, oh, Jovita is doing this, like, why are you sabotaging yourself? Why are you judging? Why are you trying to be a perfectionist? Why are you doing these negative things? It's more like this character. So he actually even names the character. He also provides really good examples throughout the book just to help people understand the different personality types that might relate to these 10 saboteurs. And I like that because it really helps people know that they're not alone. These are things that affect everyone. I don't care how successful a person is, they have these thoughts that come into their mind, and it's really in how they respond to them, how they react to them. Again, this is something that I 100% believe in and that I talk about with my clients. That's why I did the Managing Negative Emotions workshop, because I really wanted you to understand that you have these emotional triggers, but you can take steps to reframe them and make different choices in how you're going to respond to them. You're going to get different takeaways from this book depending on where you're at in your growth journey, in your leadership journey, even whatever stage you're at in life. So it's one of those books that I call repeatable because you can go back to it at a different time, maybe a year from now, 2 years from now, and you're going to get different takeaways from it. So I always enjoy books like that because it really just shows that the concepts are timeless. Okay, so back to the book. So Shirzad Chamine, he actually talks about, again, how the brain is super useful and very powerful, and we just have a choice. Are we using it as a friend or a foe? The 10 areas that he talks about, he says, affect everybody. Everybody has the judgment, and then there's usually one or two other primary characters that are standing in our way, keeping us stuck, or maybe not making us as successful as we want to be. For me, mine top one is the hyperachiever. I don't know that I needed him to tell me this. I definitely am always striving to do more, maybe working harder. I shouldn't even say maybe. Definitely working and pushing myself harder than I need to be at times. The second one that resonates with me, or that I tend to fall in, the trap that I fall into, is restlessness. Just being busy all the time, not being able to sit still and really take that time to relax. I always have to be very conscious and intentional about celebrating my successes. I have reminders all the time to remind me not to fall into that trap of just jumping from one thing to the next. I have to really take a minute and pause, reflect, enjoy my process, not just the end result. I actually talk about this in my 30-day positive mindset challenge. It's all about the self-talk that we use, the perception that we have for ourselves, and I take the 30 days and give, 5-minute quick tips and concepts that can be implemented every day. So I'll drop the link below. Definitely join the challenge if you haven't joined it already. It's another one of those things where, depending on where you're at in your life, what week it is, what day it is, some of these things are going to resonate with you right now, but if you do the challenge again maybe a couple months from now, there'll be different takeaways and different pieces that will resonate. So as the enemy, when our mind is the enemy, we have these 10 saboteurs that are getting in the way. But if we want our mind to be our friend, he refers to it as the sage. And this is the concept of how we're reframing our mind and using that positive mindset, using the emotional intelligence, using these positive intelligence tools that he talks about to not let these saboteurs stand in our way, but actually use them as tools to get the things that we want. Perfect example. We all have that judgment in us. Like, let's be honest, we all have judgment, but are we using it in a negative way, such as comparing ourselves to other people, being super critical of ourselves or others? Or are we using judgment in a positive way where we need to use judgment to make really difficult decisions and enhance our decision quality and really know what to focus on? So sometimes judgment can be good and it definitely can be bad. It's really up to us and how we're choosing to use it and how we're letting our thoughts affect that choice. Like I said, I really like this book because there's so many parallels to concepts that I already teach and that I really enjoy just on a personal growth, professional growth level for myself, but also what I do with leaders and people that I coach. Shout out to Sarah Mayer. She actually is the one who recommended this book for me. She is somebody that I know through Toastmasters, but I also follow her coaching, Bold Goal Crushers. Say that 3 times fast. Bold Goal Crushers. And she started up a book club. And then I was actually a guest on her podcast. And so we reviewed the book, went over it. I'll drop the link in the comments so that you can check out the podcast. Sarah knows the things that I work on with my Positive Mindset Challenge, with the EQ workshop. So that's likely why she recommended it to me. And I appreciate her having me on as a guest on her podcast. If you want more details and specifics on the 10 saboteurs that Shirzad talks about, as well as how to overcome them, then definitely check out my next video.